As people are streaming in right now, let me tell you more about what we do on this daily webinar. So first of all, I'd like to launch this poll to see if you are a first timer. So please fill it up. At least I'll see how is the people coming in today. So I see there's a few first timer. So a brief introduction. So we have this daily webinar where Jin will walk you through all the thoughts and ideas of like specific currency each day. So for Monday, we'll have Aussie and Kiwi. Tuesday will be on Euro. Wednesday on Pound. Thursday on Yen and Gold. Friday on CAD and Oil, which is today. So let me see. Where's my poll result? Oh, gone. Oh, here.
About a quarter of you are new. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have 25% coming in new today. Welcome, a very big welcome to you. So today is Friday. Jane is going to speak about CAD and oil. So this webinar is going to be very beneficial for you, for like especially for long-term investor and also short-term traders. So during this session, Jane will go through what the price will move, possible trade ideas, and highlighting potential targets and risks. So I'd like to give a disclaimer. Any information shared during this session is not intended to be trade recommendation. It's solely the opinion and the views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. So I'm Kenneth here. I've known Jin for like a couple of years. So as a student, then after I became a coach and now a business partner with him. So Jin runs LCMS Traders and Forex Briefcase as a trading coach and a $1 million trader. So what this means that he trades and has been invited in many stages globally. So in fact, a lot of people that has been here, the reason here might be seeing him presenting at an event or attend his course previously. So I like to run another poll to see how did you hear from us. Okay, yeah. So please help me fill it up. I'd like to see like what are the channels that you have got in to know about us. And without further ado, let me pass over to Jin while you all fill out this thing.
Hey, in addition to telling us where you're coming from, where you find out about this webinar, if you can help me out, put into the chat the countries you're coming from. Because I just realized yesterday, I see Vishal's name there. So I just realized yesterday we're reaching, people in the UK. I do have clients in the UK and Canada as well. So I just want to find out where is everyone coming from. I know most of you are probably from Singapore and certain parts of Malaysia. So put it in the chat. Let me know where you're coming from so that we can know how awake or how asleep you are in terms of time difference. All right. Okay, so should we get started? Singapore, Malaysia, Singapore. All right. Robbie, you haven't put in your country yet. I know where you're from. Yeah, there you go, Robbie. I'm picking on everyone right now. Okay, so let's get started. We are not on Facebook Live today. We are not on Facebook Live today. So 100% attention for you guys here on the Zoom call. Thank you for attending. Today is Friday, end of the week. End of the week. So today we're talking about CAD and oil. Although Kenneth said that this is going to be super beneficial for you, long-term, short-term, I would like to disappoint you today and tell you that oil and CAD is going to be super boring today and probably the week coming up. Okay, so why I say that? That's a good way to start a webinar, right? Oh, it's going to be boring as hell. Okay. CAD, actually, nah, I'm just lying. CAD on a daily time frame has done exactly what we have said it's going to do, which is nothing much at all. Okay. If you have any questions, put it in the Zoom chat. One of the guys will read it out and tell me if you have any questions. All right. So last week, you can see that brown line here. Last week, it was trying to climb up. I said that it's possibly going to come back down and test this support level of 1.3955. It took a couple of days, but it did just that. It sat there, came back down, test, and then it's still at that support level right now. So 1 week later, that brown line has come through. It has come back down and set at that support level now. Okay. At this point, where do I see the CAD on a daily time frame? I'm a bit undecided. However, my bias would be for it to go back up. All right, I don't think it will go up to 1.45, possibly towards the 1.42 level. So I think if it breaks above 1.4030, you got 180 pips to a 190 pips, so 1-to-1 take profit risk reward level. Very quick, and that could be quite a quick trade for the upward move. There are triggers that could move it higher as well. For example, what could happen here is what we're looking for is a weaker Canadian dollar, a weaker Canadian economy, or news that would trigger a weaker Canadian dollar, or news that would trigger a stronger US dollar. Right? So weaker Canadian or stronger US dollar, those are the news that we're looking for this bias to come true. I'll tell you the triggers and why I think it will go up just in a couple of minutes. On H4 time frame, if I were to make this a little bit more accurate, I'll probably say that it'll probably do that, maybe up to this level. Okay, maybe not by the end of this week, maybe early next week as well. However, I think that if we have that 150 pip stop to a 180 pip take profit, will be quite a good trade. It does need to break above 1.4020. So those are the levels that I'm looking at. If you're going to look at similar trades, do your own analysis. I will tell you the triggers of why I think that could happen and what I'm looking for as well. All right, so short and sharp for the US CAD. Any questions at this point in time? No. All right, good. Great. Chat just blinked. All right, Daniel with the summary. Awesome. Good stuff. So that's what we're looking at for the US CAD. In terms of oil, WTI, I don't have the lines there because I was telling you guys last week and every week as well that I don't actually trade oil actively. I just monitor it because it has quite a good relationship with CAD. But I think I vaguely remember saying that if it does break above 28.85, it could go to 35.39 or 40. That's why we have that line there. Now that it's gone up, and I think we had that there as well. Now that it's gone up and broken that level, bouncing off that level, I actually think that we might see it come back down again. So all that negativity we saw in oil resulting in that big plunge, now it seems like it's recovering. However, it seems like it's going to be a bit difficult to break that 35.40 level, and looks like it's going to come back down. If it does come back down, how does that relate to the US CAD? It's not going to be a one-to-one relationship like you see oil coming back down and then you see CAD reacting immediately. So I will be very cautious with that, right? How oil prices move, you need to consider reserve. Well, you need to consider the price, you need to consider the production level and the current reserve inventory levels of oil. So there are multiple variables to consider in terms of pricing oil, which is also one of the reasons why I don't actually trade oil very actively. I use it in relation to CAD. Once we see it bounce down strongly, at this point, I still wouldn't be thinking much of oil going down, although it could come down towards this level. I would look for it to break the 28.85 level before I would think it's going to have any significant impact on CAD. All right, so bear that in mind. I would think that it needs to break 28.85 before I think it would have any significant impact on the Canadian dollar. So I'm going to hold off in terms of that relationship for now. If it does break, I will update that relationship and possible impact into the Traders Club for you guys. Alrighty. Good stuff. I see the chat blinking away. Shiro asks, I noticed US dollar is dropping these few days. Is it possible to move weaker for US CAD? Okay, let me jump back to the US CAD for you. All right, so Shiro, I think you're first time here, so welcome. Hello. Looking at it on the daily time frame, we could see the question is whether we could see a weaker US dollar resulting in the US CAD moving downwards. Possible, but unlikely, I would say. Okay, why I think that is because let me jump into the news now. Actually, so to answer your question better, we have the retail sales numbers coming out from the CAD tonight, right? So retail sales coming out number from CAD tonight. We have previous at 0.3, expected to be minus 10.3. Core retail sales at 0 previously, expected to be minus 4.8. So we're actually expecting, or the market is expecting to see big downside to the retail sales number. And retail sales number is a indicator of consumer confidence. And if we're not spending, businesses are suffering, will lead to GDP dropping, will lead to inflation dropping, will lead to unemployment, will lead to a whole host of things that could signify a weaker economy. So because of this, if we do see at 8:30 a news coming out that is close to minus 10%, worse than minus 10%, or even if it's a minus 5%, it is still worse than previous, although not as bad as expected, but still a negative towards the retail sales number or even the core retail sales number. So because of that, we could see a weaker Canadian dollar pushing the US CAD higher. And also because of this, that's why I don't think that the downside, while possible, is probably going to be a bit unlikely. All right. Does that answer your question, Shiro? Good stuff. Okay. Pound CAD. Jeff asking about Pound CAD. Okay, I will get to that shortly. Let me look through the other news as well. So I'll do a bit of the different currency pairs, non-major ones, closer to the end. All right. So actually quite happy to see that we got the Trade advertisement here on the side as well. Next week we have Governor Polo speaking. For the CAD, nothing, not going to move the market that much for that one at 1:30 a.m. On Monday, we're probably going to see a bit of a quiet market as most bank holidays apply in the US and in the UK. So Monday will probably be a bit quiet. Tuesday as well, not much news happening. Well, a lot of news, but not super important ones. Wednesday, we'll be talking about the New Zealand dollar, or Monday, we'll be talking about New Zealand dollar for Wednesday's news. Thursday, we have the US GDP coming up, so that's going to be important, interesting. And Friday, Canadian GDP again, looking at the Canadian GDP, it's gone from 0.2 to 0. We look for a bit of an expectation, probably going to be 0 or a very low, probably going to stay at 0 or 0.1%. So we're going to see, not a very great number there, or even minus 0.1% could happen here. So GDP number for CAD could also be one of the factors that pushes the US CAD a little bit higher. And then Powell speaking on Friday, probably not going to move the market that much as well. So you can see that next week we don't have that much news happening. It's not a heavy impact news week. However, and that's usually the case for end of the month scenario. However, we could see some trending situations happen next week. So I think it will be quite a good, still quite a good trading week. Any questions so far? All right, Shiro's happy. And Jeff, I'll get back to your pound CAD question shortly. In the meantime, I see a lot of new faces here. So, I want to tell you more about LCMS Traders Club. LCMS Traders Club is a private Facebook group. A lot of you here are already LCMS Traders Club members. So bear with me for a couple of minutes as I get all those who are not members already on board. Those of you who are, please put it in the chat and share with everyone else about whether how you feel about the Traders Club, whether it's been beneficial to you, whether it's the best thing since sliced bread. I know it is, right? If you are serious about your trading, you have to join the club. It is $49 a month or $199 a year. At $199 a year, it's less than $1 a day. All right, it's less than 1 pip to your trades. Massively beneficial. Why I say that, we have the signals that we fire out in here. Wait, hang on, let me just get that. Okay, we have all the signals that we fire out in here. If you come from the Telegram channel, you get the signals first in the Traders Club, giving you the signals and also telling you the logic behind the signals, why we're buying or why we're selling, the step-by-step process behind the trades, whether to get out at take profit level 1 or 2 or 3, right? So it's all there. And also to update you, there's a lot of discussions happening here. To update you, Frankie, I don't know whether you're on the call and as well. It's like asking whether to close out the trade. And, I answered quite quickly about canceling the order. Those members who are already here, make sure you click on the link and vote for me. Appreciate that massively. Right, we have our currency calls. We have an update on the Bank of Japan's press conference being cancelled and the monetary policy meeting minutes. I will share that with you guys shortly after this. I have the tabs open already. Kenneth does an update on the currency call that I do at 11 o'clock. He does an update at 9 o'clock to tell you whether it's still valid or not, what else to look out for. Right, so a lot of the signals, polls, analysis, we have trading tutorials, right? So let me just get back to the tutorials. Where is it? There you go. So we have a whole series of videos as well, and we're continuing to build on that library of videos to tell you how to trade, looking at support resistance lines, looking at trend, how to read the news, how to do your back testing, all the different step-by-step processes to get you started in trading, right? And also to build upon, if you're already an experienced trader, to build upon that skill set that you have already. So all that for you for $199 a year, I think it's massively beneficial. Join it without a doubt if you take your trading seriously. Okay. If you want to find out more, go to Facebook LCMS Traders Club and join there, or you can message and say you're interested, and one of the guys will get in touch with you quite quickly, I would say. Okay, let me jump into. So I talked about jumping back into the news. I talked about the monetary policy statements. This was a bit of a surprise. I spoke about that yesterday when we talked about the yen. So I just wanted to do a quick update. Lewis was here, and he's sorely disappointed that he didn't have any massive trading opportunities. And as disappointed as Lewis is, the market is disappointed as well, right? So this is today's statement, monetary policy statement, 22nd of May. So, they've said everything they need to say. The main thing I'm paying attention to is that the bank will actively purchase ETFs and J-REITs at 12 trillion yen and 180 billion yen respectively. Looking at that straight away, I'm thinking, wait, have they changed anything from previous month? When I look at the previous statement, so this was, when was this statement? This was 27th of April. I'm looking at, they're saying, oh, I lost my point now. Where is it? I lost my line after I moved the thing. Let me just give me a moment. Let me just find it. All right, so here they say the bank will actively purchase ETFs and J rates with the upper limit of 12 trillion yen and 180 billion yen. So they're saying the same thing again. They haven't changed. The rhetoric hasn't changed. So that's also one of the reasons why the market hasn't moved much or at all, because they haven't said anything different. They kept rates the same. They're buying at the same rate, but they have said that they are going to be prepared um, to provide a new new tools and more tools towards supporting the financing ability, right? So again, it's a lot of we have tools ready, but they're not implementing anything extra yet. And that's also why we've seen that the market hasn't really jumped in relation to this news. All right, so an extra little tidbit about the US yen or the Bank of Japan's news from today. All right, Malik has a question. Jin, why do you always have a 30 pip stop loss? Is this a good strategy? I've seen recently that some of those trades hit stop loss and move 10, 20 pips up and reverse favorably. Malik, I think you're referring to the signals. One of the reasons why we have a 30 pip and quite a standardized way of looking at the signals is for standardization, and also because signals, we use it both as a trade signal and also as a notification. So more to notify you that there are possible opportunities. So if you are already on a Traders Club, you use the notification and the analysis to learn how to trade and also identify more trades. If you're just in the Telegram channel, use it more as a notification to tell you a possible trade idea here, rather than if you are happy to just blindly follow the 30, 20, 20, 40, 60 pips, then we see that a higher percentage of win rate, we are also overall more profitable in that sense as well. Okay. All right. So I will jump now into the I'll jump now into the pound CAD, as Jeff has asked. Let me find pound CAD. Okay, pound CAD. Someone speaking? No. All right, so pound CAD on the daily time frame. Have I looked at this before? No, I haven't. Okay. What do we think is going to happen? Put in my lines quite quickly. I think it's at a support level right now. Lower support level will probably be about 1.6587. A high resistance will be at 1.785, and then possibly the next one at about 1.740. Okay, so at this point, just purely based on technical and slight fundamental analysis, I would say that if we do see some weakness in that CAD from the news coming up, we could see this moving upwards towards the 1.740 level. It could be quite a nice risk reward trade here, about 130 pips to 230. So that could be quite a nice trade. However, that would also mean that we need to see a slightly stronger pound dollar as well. And looking at the pound dollar, it's actually been playing exactly to how I was looking at it: bounce up bit or sit across and test the support level. I do feel that the pound is probably going to test this level a little bit more before maybe bouncing up. So I still don't think there's going to be massive directions coming from the pound dollar. So looking at the pound CAD, likelihood is for it to, possibility is for it to go up. Likelihood for it to go up in a hurry is low, but probably something that would slowly move back up off this 1.70 level. All right, so Jeff, I hope I answered your question. Remember to still do your own analysis there. Hang on, let me bring up my chat. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So, any other questions? So today we covered the pound, the US CAD, possible upward move resulting from news on the retail sales number coming from the CAD tonight at 8:30, a bit of a GDP number coming next week. So possible upward move in the CAD. Oil, we're looking at it maybe topping off at the 35 level with no real intentions to do anything unless it breaks below the 28 level. Pound CAD, we looked at it, possible upward move heading up with a weaker CAD and a slightly stronger pound, quite a good risk reward, 130 to 280 pips. We looked at the yen, right? Yen disappointing Lewis and everyone else in the market, right? And also Traders Club, where if you don't join, you should join. Massively beneficial, learn how to trade with all the tutorial videos there as well. Edmund, Euro US dollar, we do the Euro on Tuesday. We do the Euro on Tuesday. So Monday is Aussie and New Zealand. Tuesday is Euro and Euro pound. Wednesdays are pound. Thursdays is yen and oil. Friday is CAD and oil. Well, yen and gold and CAD and oil. So, every day at 11 o'clock, we go through different currency pairs. So make sure you turn up and turn in. Chris asked, what's next for yen now? Watch yesterday's video. Chris, watch yesterday's video. It's still valid there. Is there a currency call on Monday? Is it a public holiday on Monday? Is it? What's a holiday? Louis, what's a holiday?
I think it's Hari Raya Pos, if I remember correctly.
Well, I am still going to be here. So happens as usual. We had it at Vesak Day. We did a currency call on Vesak Day as well. I know no holidays, and that's why Daniel, Kenneth, Chinwei, and Jonathan looks like they're overworked, because I know no such thing as a holiday. All right. Any other questions? Everyone happy? Good stuff. Gonna run the last poll. I hope you would give me 100% on this. Lunch. Give me a review. What do you think about this session? There's 32 of you in here, and we're looking at 100% for today and this week. All right. Okay. One quick plug as you fill that in is. Let me do a quick plug before everyone starts going away. Forex Briefcase. All right. If you don't know already, Forex Briefcase is one of the companies that I manage, and we have an event happening tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Forex Briefcase info session at 9 p.m. Maybe one of you guys can put in the link in the Zoom link in there for me as well. 9 p.m. tomorrow night, telling you more about Forex Briefcase, how I made 47.41% in 2019 and 2 point something percent just last month. So a consistent 2 to 3% a month return for myself and my investors. So if you're interested in that, click share, get more people involved in this journey, and that would be massively appreciated from me and everyone involved. So I hope to see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. All right, Victoria, don't worry, it is recorded, so you can still watch this recording on YouTube. Alrighty, so thank you all. We got 96%. One person thinks that it could be better. Good stuff, because if I get 100%, I need to get better all the time. So good. Thank you all. Trade safe, trade well. See you tomorrow at 9 p.m. or Monday at 11 again. Kazuma. Thank you, thank you. Take care now. Taken 3. Yeah, I haven't had that for a long time. That reference Jin and Tekken. See y'all. Thank you. Thanks, Vishal. Vishal, join into the Traders Club. Someone just joined,